just to have that cushion in case, because we always like to make sure that there's somebody at the front desk at all times, so that's,
So do you expect to spend the full $5,300 by the end of this fiscal year, or?
I can't guarantee, I can't say for sure whether we will or not. We've always just had it as a cushion to cover, people coming in to cover our front desk. Okay?
And then the other question, somewhat related, is with contract services. Again, only spent $6,200 first half of the year, and you have a budget of $44,000. What's the, is the timing of that, again, the last half of the fiscal year, and that's why you haven't spent much the first half, or I'm just trying to understand that?
So contracted services is mostly for consultants. I expect, we are currently working with a consultant on the mixed district. We're going to be needing money on that to do the sign district down at, the mixed district needs to update its sign policy. We want, we came from Economic Development Summit, we all want our mall area to be vibrant, and the sign policy there isn't great, and we're going to need help with that. So it will be used. It probably won't even, yeah, it will be used.
So you expect to use
Yes.
the balance of the
Yes.
current year?
Yes, oh,
Budget.
yes, yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, of course.
Other questions? Deb?
Yeah, so just to clarify on the consultant,
Mhm.
sorry, and when you were talking about the grant,
Yes.
I was trying to access the
Oh, no,
internet,
it's
so I didn't hear part of that.
I,
So I apologize if I'm asking you a question you already
yeah,
answered.
sure.
So the consulting services, the 29,000, is that expected to be covered by that grant that you're getting? No, completely separate?
The current request for consulting services, no, that is what I'm asking for
Okay.
this, that's my
Okay.
current request.
Okay, so is that a continuation, because we've asked for almost 20,000 this year, this is just a continuation of the same consultant on this project? If I look at contracted services, this year, the request for consultants was 18 grand, and now it's going up to 29.
Yeah, so I consolidated, so if you look at prior request, the
Yep.
8,000, I consolidated the two. So that's
Got
what
it.
so that's
Okay,
that's where my numbers went.
okay, thank you.
Yep.
Anyone else?
Motion to approve?
Second. See. Cheyenne's on. So Cheyenne?
Yes.
Chris Campbell?
Yes.
Chris Delaney?
Yes.
John Eiler?
Yes.
Deb McCarthy?
Yes,
Frank Monaco?
Yes.
Steve Moran?
Yes.
Rob Newfeld?
Yes.
Paul Noonan?
Yes.
Ed Parsons?
Yes.
Rick Rosso?
Yes.
Roger Riggs?
Yes.
David Tate's not here. So we're at 1300. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
thank you
you.
so much.
Now, we'll go back on our regular scheduled programming. Here we go. So recreation budget, come on down. It's budget 630, 631.
It's just silly.
Welcome. Again, introduce yourselves for Meg and
Okay, Brendan Egan, Director of Parks and Recreation.
Kelly Lehman, Assistant Director of Parks and Recreation.
and you guys give us an overview, and then we'll get the subcommittee report.
Okay, so this year, our budget increase comes in at 4.47%. The increase in salaries is due to contractual obligations, in the addition of a rec therapist, increase in occupancy to cover the potential new field lights at Marshall Simons Middle School. And then we do have a decrease in part-time, in part-time salaries that was shifted to our full-time salaries account to help with the rec therapist position. And there's a decrease in contracted services because of fleet maintenance has taken on the inspection of our bucket truck, which we used to send out to be done. They have added it into their cost down there. And let's see, we have I'm sorry, I thought I had my form right in front of me. We have an increase in occupancy, we talked about that. And then it's an overall increase in our occupancy of 2.5%. And then there is a 7.78% decrease in contracted services that represents that removal of the bucket truck. And then overall, our decreases in our part-time salaries is 5.71%. And our increase in full-time salaries is 7.29%, and that is mostly contractual obligations. In front of me.
Subcommittee.
Subcommittee voted 2-0 in favor.
Excellent. Do we have questions? I assume we have questions. Anything we should have questions about? Everybody's trying to get into this.
Sure, I'll throw one in.
Prime the pump.
Yeah.
John.
Am I good to go?
Yes, please, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good to see you all again. Sorry, I should have asked this question in the subcommittee meeting. Just, there's a transition from a part-time person to the full-time rec therapist. And so one thing that you did mention is it's already a benefited position, so that's not a change in terms of benefits. So it's an increase in hours from, I think, 27.5 to 32. And I guess the question I meant to ask is, how are you getting the part-time clerk's job done now that they're going away?
So we've realized some efficiencies since COVID, more people registering using our online software, registering that way. They can do more things online that don't require them to come into the office. And, back when that permanent part-time position came into effect, it was prior to COVID, and we were seeing a lot of people in and out of the door. But as you know, people do more and more on their phones and on their laptops, computers, that we've realized efficiencies there. Well, we've also realized a need for more recreation therapy service, therapeutic recreation services, sorry. So that's why there is a transition. And we have a retirement of a administrative assistant, and the idea is that the permanent part-time position would apply and get that job. They're very well versed in Parks and Recreation and software, and so we felt this was a good time to transition, going from 27.5 hours to 35 hours and adding that rec therapist to take the workload off of our therapeutic rec specialist.
Great, thank you.
Steve?
Maybe you explained this, but I didn't catch it. The tablet services, this is a new item this year. What are those used for, and will that be a persistent kind of thing going forward, and any increases there?
Yes, so we have 30 tablets that are used by our program staff, 30 in the summer, all of our programs, so they can communicate with the office. They have real-time paperwork, emergency forms, health forms, things like that, that if a child gets sick, they have to call a parent. All of that information is right there, and it's updated, it's real-time information. And we have to keep those live for 6 months. So this time of year, we've gone down to about 18 we have now because we have staff in our therapeutic rec programs, for example, that are out with participants in programs, and they also need to have that information on each of the participants ready at hand.
Just to clarify that, we brought this up in the subcommittee, this is cell service,
Oh.
GSM service.
Got it.
AT&T to communicate with the
Okay.
tablets. The
I was,
tablets
I was going to ask if they were licensing or software or
No,
cell
this
service.
is
That makes
wireless
sense.
services.
Thank you.
Yes, thanks for adding that.
Rick?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. The electricity, the increase in electricity by 19,000, is that all related to the Marshall Simons lighting?
Yes, so we based it on the cost. It's actually a little less because of the timing when that field will come online. But we based it on what it costs to light the front field, which will be the same size, same amount of lights,
Okay.
for the new field on the back. That's,
So the same usage?
yes, same time. So the field is used every day of the week, and the lights are on probably 6 out of 7 days during the week until 10 o'clock, and there's waiting lists to use the field.
Okay.
Youth Sports has been pushed out to use later times, so the idea is that they'll get on earlier and start the lights on the backfield.
And when are those, when is the field expected to be completed and those lights go up?
I don't know, it's out to bid right now. I think it went out to bid this week.
So what are you basing the 20, is that prorated over the year? Over the
It is,
fiscal year,
it
or-
will be for next fall, the fall of '26, in the spring of '27, and
So a full-
potentially this
so-
summer.
So the full FY '27?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Rob?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The cost estimate that we just got like 10 minutes ago, is that just one of the bids for the field?
I don't see those, it's managed by the school department.
Okay. Just $3 billion.
Chris?
So just following up on the last one, so if you're basically roughly 2 seasons, we're gonna expect almost another 20K increase next budget cycle off electricity for a full year off of that?
This is to cover that field. The other lights are already in our,
Yep.
in our budget, so I believe the 19 will be able to cover that field. If there is a increase in usage, it may go up.
For the full
a
year
little.
then, the 19?
Yeah, this is the full year.
Okay,
This should
thank you.
cover the full year, yes.
Ed?
Thank you. Does the incremental cost, is that all just incremental use, or has the budget expanded because you're estimating higher energy costs? They are rising.
So we increased by, the 19 that is in there will cover the new field, but then we increased the overall budget by 2.5% based on what we were given from the town to increase our
Thank you.
occupancy. Yeah.
Frank?
Yeah, so tied directly into that, so all of the lighting now, is it all high-performance LED type lighting? 'Cause we-
At Marshall Simons, I believe it is, yes.
Right, so,
But not all of our fields around town.
okay, it's just that the reason you're getting all these questions is because that's for one additional field that's brand new with high-performance lighting. It seems like it's a huge increase. I mean, it's 20%,
So our
and it's a lot of money.
yes, the current field at Brush, we call it Brush, and then Lower Brush, the grass we call Lower Brush. So Brush is, was 24,000.
Are those high-performance lights as well, high-end, low-end?
Those I believe are LED lights. Yes.
It's kind of shocking numbers, okay.
Yeah, they were upgraded like 8 years ago. There was a warrant
No,
article to upgrade all the lights on Brush Field.
Yeah, I think when those were installed in 2013, I believe they were installed with LEDs.
Oh, that was
The varsity field lights were done over about 8 years ago.
Okay.
Right.
All right, thanks.
Yep.
Thank you.
Deb?
Hi, on the rec side, not the rec maintenance
Mhm.
side, The overtime is expected to go up by 20%. Sorry again if you said this. What's driving that increase? Not huge in money, but 20% increase is definitely
Yeah,
significant.
it is $2,000, and it is because of the amount of, it's salary-driven,
Yep.
their new salaries, and also for the amount that we were up against spending all the overtime and then had to fund additional overtime. So it's figured in as, I can tell you how many, the breakdown if, it's figured in for our office staff. They, 4 times a year, they are able to work our registration periods, which is beyond their regular day.
Yep.
So we have to pay them overtime for
Yep.
those. And then our program staff, it's figured in at an additional 40 hours for the year at time and a half per their contract.
This isn't maintenance, this is.
Frank.
So just, I'm gonna vote in favor of this. I mean, the problem that I think I'm starting to have is a lot of these budgets, we're not even close to the guideline. Like, this is 6.14% increase.
Just in the recreation director, but overall, it's a 4.47.
But the grand total I'm looking at, wait a second.
2486.
Okay, I was looking at the sub chart. All right, so it's 4.47. Okay, we're gonna really be struggling with actually coming up with the guideline here.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
appears to me. I think we're
Why,
headed
I
for-
think
headed for a brick wall.
administration had the total being under guidelines, so it works out somewhere.
Somewhere. Thank you.
So I have a question. How close are we with what we charge for programs to what it costs to run a program? I know we end up subsidizing programs so that the participants aren't paying the full boat. I'm not necessarily opposed to that, but it's something we have to keep in mind. So what would you say the percentage is?
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna say 80%
80%.
is user fee based, and about
Okay.
20% of the
Higher than I
programs are
thought it was.
subsidized.
Yeah, in the programs that are subsidized are like our summer programs in the parks, because not everybody can afford to participate in a full program, so we like to offer, it's a service, right, for the community. So our summer park programs, some of our therapeutic rec programs are subsidized, and
The way-
wading pool, another service we don't charge for residents for wading pool passes, only if you lose one.
Some of our higher ticket priced programs are subsidized initially. Middle school parks, for example, was subsidized by 60% initially, and we move them each year. They're at a 30% subsidy this year, so the plan is to start a program and then get them off of the subsidy, so that we're not hitting the residents with a high-cost program, or incrementally increasing it over the years so that it can become, palatable for them.
Sure. So that's a better split than I thought, but it becomes a big number also, even at 20%. So we have to keep that in mind. Any other questions?
Oh, just a comment on that. In information we sent around about the split between the revolving accounts and
Right.
and the part-time salaries, you can see how much money is in each bucket, and I think that roughly is the 20%.
Is it?
Yeah.
85. Ed?
I was about to ask, what's the difference? Could you explain what the revolving versus part-time are and how they arise?
Oh,
Sure. So the revolving account salaries that Mr. Riggs is referring to is user fee based. So a lot of our fitness programs, we have all of our fitness none of our fitness programs are subsidized. So That's all user fee based. All of those salaries come out of the revolving account. Something like Brendan was just referring to as far as Parks Place is concerned, all of those staff salaries come out of the part-time account because we do see it as a service to the community because it is a free program.
I guess my point was, is the revolving salaries, is that a good estimate of what the revenues are from the programs?
I would say yes.
Ballpark?
Yeah, ballpark,
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
Right, but like any revolving account, it rises and falls. Rises sharply at registration time, and it falls during the programs and repeats.
As we pay out salary, part-time salaries for directors to run the program, supplies for those programs, it does drop by the end.
Okay.
Right.
I'm just trying to get a sense for what the actual cost is net of revenues that come in, which is always something that we don't always put together.
Anything else?
Motion to approve.
Second?
So we have a motion to approve the recreation budget, $2,486,331. Cheyenne,
Yes.
Chris Campbell,
Yes.
Chris Delaney,
Yes.
John Eiler,
Yes.
Deb McCarthy,
Yes.
Frank Monaco,
Yes?
Steve Moran,
Yes.
Rob Newfeld, Paul Noonan,
Yes.
Ed Parsons,
Yes.
Rick Rosso,
Yes.
Roger Riggs,
Yes.
and the chair votes yes, 1300. Thank you.
Thank you.
Board of Health, come on down. So this is budget 510. So we'll have two votes, or three votes, actually. So the general Board of Health budget, the mosquito control, and the hazardous waste collection. Welcome.
Good evening.
How are you?
Susan Luminello, Director of Public Health.
Gail Demore, Board of Health Chair.
Hi, welcome, Gail.
Thank you.
So I guess I can start by just giving the quick
Please.
overview. So our salaries have gone up, that's all contractual. In our regular budget, we've kept that all level funded. Do you want me to talk about the special accounts yet, or?
Let's get through this one, and then
Okay.
we'll just do it, since we have to do three different votes.
Okay.
You're talking, by special accounts, you're talking about mosquito and hazardous waste.
Mosquito and
Yeah.
hazardous waste, yeah. So everything then on our regular budget is level funded, other than salaries.
And subcommittee,
Town Hall 2 voted 2-0 in favor.
questions? Nothing? Oh, I'm sorry, Rick, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm just noticing that there's a couple of grants that we received this year that it looks like you have not included, that I guess we're not going to receive next year. The Leahy Board of Health Community Health Fair of $3,500 and the $5,000 for the National Association of City and County Health Officers. Are those not, we're not going to see those this year, next year?
So the National Association of City and County Health Officers grant is a one-time grant, so I don't know if they're going to offer it
Okay.
next year or not. We got it this year, that $5,000 where we ran a community preparedness program for residents and for Medical Reserve Corps. And at that program, we gave out community preparedness kits, like starter kits. So that's what the money was gone to for that grant. We still have some starter kits left over from the grant, so we're going to continue the community preparedness program. But if we apply for the NACCHO grant next year, they call it the Readiness Award, if they have it. If they have the Readiness Award, we will apply for it, again, with a whole new application, of course. And, so it's not like I just didn't want to put it because I don't know, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
when
no,
yet.
understand,
Yeah,
understand, yeah.
yeah.
How about the Leahy?
The Leahy grant, Leahy's been very generous to us, very good. They always offer that's for our health fair. So every year I ask them for funds for the health year, of health fair, and we got it this year. Again, I could put it in there, I'm sure we will get it, but I just don't know for sure, so I didn't really
Okay,
want to
no, fair enough.
I know the other ones, the Triton grant, we will be getting that next year. That's the $445,000 for the Triton Collaborative. And the MRC grant, I don't know if I included that for next year or not, but that's the $7,000 grant. I hope we get it next year. If they eliminate the agency, or they cut it out completely from the federal government, we won't get it next year. But then, if that happens, then the MRC program is gone. So, the whole program won't exist anymore if they get rid of the agency that runs it. So I'm not sure what's gonna happen with that one either, but I'm assuming they'll keep it, hopefully, and we'll be able to continue with our MRC program.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So that-
Questions? Roger?
So that begs the question, is the MRC program is important enough to the town that we should find some other way to fund it?
So we do have that $1,000 line item in our budget, which is, we put in there for things that are not included under the grant, things like shirts for volunteers and things like that. So, I mean, that, I consider it to be very important for the town and for the Board of Health, because without them, we wouldn't be able to run a lot of our big public health initiatives, like the health fair and the flu clinics and the Vaccine for Children program, and there's a lot of things that we run, the big events, we depend on the volunteers to come out. So I think, after discussion with the board, if that does happen, we'd have to bring it to the board and then try to figure out, is a way that we can keep our volunteers, just not under the MRC program, and you do it a different way. I mean, I think we probably could do it a different way. A lot of that funds that we have are for training for our volunteers. That $7,000 goes a lot towards training. So we've started to take a lot of that training in-house. So we have our nurse trained as a CPR trainer. She does first aid training. We do stop the bleed training in-house. We do the community preparedness training in-house. We started using the Triton grant to provide training. So I'm trying to take a lot of that necessary training for the volunteers and bring it in-house, so we don't have to, so we can still train them instead of depending on those funds. I mean, if the funds are there, we're gonna take them and use them.
Right,
But,
okay. I agree, the MRC is very important, and
Yeah.
we need to keep some form of it going, and glad to hear you'll follow up on that.
Thank you for the support on that.
So what kind of participation do you have on those, like a Stop the Bleed program or,
So we
Just
do
interesting.
it for the MRC volunteers, and then we
Okay.
also invite the public.
Yeah.
And we've done it for town employees, so for the Stop the Bleed and the thing like the community preparedness, those types of things. For MRC volunteers, we get about 20 or so volunteers coming out for each training.
Sure.
We have 222 volunteers.
Yeah.
But how many of those are actually active and come out for the trainings? Probably around 60, maybe 70 volunteers, yeah. But, we're just hoping that, we don't want to discourage someone from volunteering because they don't have time. Maybe someday they will have time and they can come out to train and to help us out at our events, so.
right?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Good. Move to approve?
Second.
So we have a motion to approve the Board of Health budget at $901,650. Cheyenne?
Yes.
Chris Campbell?
Yes.
Chris Delaney?
Yes.
John Eiler?
Number do you have?
Yes.
Deb McCarthy?
Looking at the
Oh,
Frank
yes.
Monaco?
Forget there's
Yes, but I'll want to put a clarification after the
accommodated.
vote.
Steve Moran?
Yes.
Rob Newfeld?
Yes.
Paul Noonan?
Yes.
Ed Parsons?
Yes.
Rick Grasso?
Yes.
Roger Riggs?
Yes,
Point of clarification?
So I may just not be syncing up here, but.
It's the operating line, Frank, not the total at the bottom.
I'm sorry. Yeah, we're voting.
We
the three.
separated the other two. I got it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, though. So mosquito control.
Yeah, so that is level funded again, so we did have an slight increase last year on that one, where we added the ditch digging. For many years, we didn't have that, so we do have that for this fiscal year, and this amount includes that for next fiscal year. So that, again, that is from the East Middlesex Mosquito Control Commission, and we really don't have a choice on who we use for that, because it's a state agency, and you have to use the state agency for doing that type of spraying. But everything else is the same. So we do the helicopter larvicide spraying, we do the catch basins for the larviciding in the catch basins, and then they do truck-mounted spraying, and they do surveillance. So the truck-mounted spraying is dependent upon the surveillance. So they have areas around town that they check the numbers of mosquitoes, and if they see high numbers, then that's how they determine which areas need to be sprayed.
Questions on mosquito control? Oh,
Subcommittee voted 2-0 in favor.
thank you.
We don't like mosquitoes.
Me neither.
We double it. Can we have no mosquitoes?
I can't say
In a
that.
perfect world,
Not how it
How about
works.
if we tripled it?
It's not how it works.
it's not how it works.
What's the accommodated?
Yeah.
That's 106, 700. 105,
Oh. So, Ed,
Yes. The total accommodated is at 105, 700, but the miscellaneous expenses at the bottom that comprise those expenses is 106, 700. So did we miss the volunteer corps?
This
1,000
here.
Total?
He's seeing this number, but it includes hazardous waste.
So is it 1,000 off?
yes,
Oh, the,
1,000 off.
the, oh,
Is
the
that what
numbers didn't add up? Is that what you're saying?
That's part of the operating budget.
It goes, okay, that's operating.
Is that because it has hazardous health?
It doesn't have
The
a little
waste.
A after it.
Oh, okay.
I don't see
Oh,
it in the way.
yeah.
Too
Yeah.
small.
I don't need
Carry on.
All right,
Yeah, the
I
way
thought he
they're
was talking about
organized
this.
as long as somebody's happy.
catches us almost every year.
Keeps us on our
Was that me? Is that?
Was
No,
that
You've got it right, I believe.
No, it's correct in the budget.
Okay,
The mosquito control is 50,700.
700, yes.
correct.
Move to approve?
Second.
A question, did you have a question?
No, I said
Okay.
second.
Excellent.
I do have one question, and I can't remember, it's clearly not in this budget, but I know there's another budget where there's like dredging involved in like streams and things like that.
Yeah, that's the Conservation Commission budget, so that's the stream cleaning.
Different, okay.
But now that's, so that's, I can't talk to theirs, but I think they're going in and people are hand picking things out of the streams. I think that's what it is. I'm not sure, but
'Cause I think that would
There's-
also help.
If they're
Oh, yeah,
cleaning and
it's-
moving things on.
Yeah,
But
this-
that's separate from the mosquito.
Okay.
And the Mosquito Control Commission, they bring in like machinery, bigger type, so to clear out logs, to get the streams like moving. But, you know, what we're trying to do is target certain areas. So if there's an area of town that the stream doesn't seem to be moving or whatever, then we're gonna ask them to do those areas. So once, in a month or so, we're gonna sit down with conservation and ask them, well, what areas do you want us to send out mosquito control to? Because it's only so many hours that we get for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Good. Cheyenne?
Yes.
Chris Campbell?
Yes.
Chris Delaney?
Yes.
John Eiler?
Yes.
Deb McCarthy?
Yes.
Frank Monaco?
Yes.
Steve Moran?
Yes.
Rob Newfeld? Paul Noonan?
Yes.
Ed Parsons?
Yes.
Rick Rosso?
Yes,
Roger Riggs?
Yes.
I didn't read the amount. That was $50,700. I'm sorry.
Yep.
So we move on to hazardous waste collection.
Yes. So this is the one that we're asking for the increase for. I provided you, this is provided copies of a presentation if you want to look at the numbers and how I came up with that amount. This presentation is what I gave to our board. So if we skip to like the third one,
I was still short.
how I estimated the fiscal year '27 projected cost was I took the total number of cars averaged from fiscal year '21 to '25. So it's cars, it's propane tanks, it's fire extinguishers. I also looked at the Sharps disposal program because that is also hazardous waste. Even though we don't collect them on that day, we do pay for the disposal at the kiosk. That's our kiosk, and we pay for disposal monthly pickups on that. And we provide free Sharps containers to the public so that the kiosk doesn't get jammed, because we do own the kiosk. And then we used the Clean Harbors rate, so going off the state bid list, and that's the reason why it's increasing, is because the state bid list for fiscal year '27 for household hazardous waste collection has gone up. There's only 2 vendors, so I used the least expensive vendor on the list, which was Clean Harbors. The list is only good for, unfortunately, this fiscal year. So I can't say beyond this fiscal year whether it's gonna go up or not, because we only have these numbers for 1 year. So I took those averages. So the next one, you can see, this was the total average of, they charge you different rates, full car, half car, small cars, over the time period. So I took a look at that.
What's a half car?
It's how much of a load you have in it. So they have someone standing there, and they look at how much you have, and they determine, is this full or half?
Not a bit of trick, but.
Yeah. And we try to check them sometimes, like, what did you say that was, to make sure that they're not, saying they're all half-full cars, And then, total propane tanks and fire extinguishers, we took a look at that. And then we looked at the Sharps disposal program cost. That is going up. The Sharps disposal program is going up. That's being used a lot more, I guess. But also too, I think we used to have 2 Sharps disposal kiosks. One was in the police department, and that one is gone. That wasn't run by us. That was the police department. So now residents only have 1. So the choice is ours in the fire department. So that cost is also going up. So if you look at the total estimated costs, and what I did was I used the Clean Harbors numbers, and I used numbers for propane tanks and fire extinguishers for Clean Harbors rates. However, that being said, we currently have a cheaper vendor for that. So to be conservative, I used the Clean Harbors rates in case, for some reason, we couldn't get that vendor next year for the propane tanks and the fire extinguishers. So after adding that all up, I got an estimated cost of $56,700. So my request is for $55,000, because it is a conservative number. It's based on averages, and so I think we can do it with the $55,000 for next year. The same 2 events, the same way, with that extra $5,000. But I can't say for fiscal year '28.
Yes, Roger.
Sorry, I'm looking back, I know I'm looking too far back into 2024 and 2025. You underspent the 50,000 that was authorized
Yeah.
that year by quite a bit. I mean, maybe not a huge amount. It certainly is better to have enough money to pay for the whole disposal as opposed to digging around after the fact to fund it.
I always have the fear of having to turn people away, and we don't want to do that. If we always keep track of the numbers during the event. I got 25,000, how many cars have we had? How much is that? We never get close, honestly, but it is a sense of security that we won't have to turn anybody away.
Okay, all right, thanks.
But our largest event was right after COVID, and I think it was like 300 and
Really
something.
clean house.
Yeah.
Nothing else
300
to
and
do.
something cars, but on average, it's less than that, and I didn't include the COVID numbers in this.
So, obviously, I mean, this measuring by the number of full and half and small cars seems very approximate.
Yes.
Is there any better way of measuring the amount that they have to dispose? Pounds of material in their drums or anything else? I mean, this must be an industry standard way of measuring it, or you wouldn't be able to compare vendors, but.
That's how they charge us. So, and that's how they do it on the state bid list. So we don't have a choice in saying, we think you should charge us a different way because that's how they say, that's how they come up with their numbers. And they also charge a setup fee, and their setup fee is going up as well, so. They claim that, it's not, they don't make much money coming out to these types of events.
All right, so I would encourage anyone who is bringing hazardous waste to the hazardous waste disposal to drive their small car.
Or carpool
I'd
with a
some-
neighbor.
Or have, if you know someone, get your neighbor's hazardous waste and bring it down with yours.
Right.
Or don't come through a second time,
Because we have to
with-
count the car twice.
Because now that's 2 cars.
Right. Anyway,
Got
just
some.
be aware that across the town, whenever you come.
Steve,
Subcommittee report was 2-0 in favor.
sorry.
That's okay. I just thought I'd
Frank.
say that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I don't have your breakdown in front of me. The propane tank fee, is it a significant piece of this?
So, this is kind of hard for me to read it. Oh, yes, yeah, so it would be
Which
this
one is it?
one. So, propane tanks.
Probably not.
So, they charge you the size of the propane tank. So most of the time, we get the little small ones,
Right.
like camping, or
So-
the big one. So a 20-pound propane tank is $21.
So they actually, it's by the number of tanks brought in?
They count
And it's a
them.
count. Okay, so my question is this. Do you get many of those, first of all? How much?
So
is-
on average, how much, 47 was that how many? Yeah, average 47.
So 50 tanks
And then
is 21
thir-
bucks.
That's one
That's
event, so per
Per
year.
event.
2,000 a year.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay. The reason I'm asking is because if you go to refill a propane tank anywhere, if it's out of date or not a good tank, it goes away right there.
they take it for free.
Some places charge, I think O'Connor's charges $10.
Yeah, well, either that or you
Yeah,
can't get a fill.
Oh,
So
right.
that's sort of as a self-purging program. What happened, what are we worried about? People throwing them in the woods or what? I mean, where are they gonna go?
Yeah,
You can't put it in the rubbish.
well, I think it's just if,
It was somewhat
fire
of a,
hazard
yeah.
of it, and
Lead it off into the
if there's something left in it. But, I guess that's something that the board could
Talk about.
look at.
I'm just
Is
not sure
we
that it
want to
would-
tell people, don't bring propane tanks. I
Well,
mean,
it's $2,000, so it's not enough out of the 50,000, I guess, to worry about. It
It's
strikes
somewhat of
me
a
as-
convenience for the
Yeah, but it
residents.
strikes me as
and we're
something we don't
doing it.
really need to collect. I mean, no propane's hazardous, but that's what the tank is made for. And if someone wants to get rid of one, they can take it to any collection and get rid of it there.
well,
I'm not sure.
yeah, I don't know,
about that.
I don't know about that, but if O'Connor does it and they charge you if it's, like,
Yeah.
really, they should be bringing the bad tanks, right? Not a tank that you can
Either
refill,
way,
but
we'll
I
get
guess
rid
if
of
they're
one, yeah.
moving or
All right.
something and they want to get rid of the tank.
It's
but-
too minutia, just a thought. I
Yeah.
just think, I'm not convinced, just because propane's explosive, that those tanks are really hazardous waste.
That would be something for the board, I guess. We've always collected the tanks, so I guess if you
Yeah.
wanted to take those out, that is one option, probably to lower it a bit.
It's only $2,000, so
Yeah.
it was
I
10.
mean, you might consult with the fire department to see what their evaluation of the risk is.
Yeah.
They're more likely to run into it as a hazard than,
Everybody's got a 20-pound tank. Some people have 2 or 3 of them. They just sit around.
Fire extinguishers are another thing that we collected from the same.
That's a big one.
vendor.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want
So-
to plug up the,
well, they can't do.
Questions?
Illegal to put them.
Motion?
So moved.
Second.
So we have a motion and a second for the hazardous waste collection budget of $55,000. Cheyenne?
Yes.
Chris Campbell?
Yes.
Chris Delaney?
Yes.
John Eiler?
Yes.
Deb McCarthy? Frank Monaco?
yes.
Steve Moran?
Yes.
Rob Newfeld?
Yes.
Paul Noonan?
Yes.
Ed Parsons?
Yes.
Rick Rasso?
Yes.
Roger Riggs?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 13-0-0. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Town Clerk, budget 161. Welcome, Ms. Priest.
Thank you. So the clerk's budget does have an increase of 14.32%. That is largely driven by the fact that it is a 3-election year, and I don't have much control over that piece. There was a small increase in our capital outlay that I'm using for equipment management, because I have a service company for our typewriters now.
Subcommittee,
2-0 in favor.
questions? Chris Campbell.
It's not so much a question as a comment. I just want to say a fantastically run special election in November. I know those can be challenging in the clerk's office, but it was very well run.
I appreciated it. The staff did a ton of work and a lot of hours, and I know some people feel the turnout wasn't as big as they would have liked, but it was bigger than expected, and it was a lot of work for the full-time staff in the office.
Well done.
It did run very well.
Thank you.
Motion, no, never mind.
Rick?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Quick question, the full-time salary increase of 9%, is that all contractual, or?
Yes, that's all contractual.
All right, thank you.
Well, I'll follow up.
Roger.
That's a lot for the contractual, most of the contractual stuff is more like 3 or 4%. What's the breakdown of that 9? Maybe not 3 or 4.
Yeah. Thank you, Patrick.
So in this budget, we did not need a negotiated settlement transfer last year, so the wages are actually from the 2026 amount, which is based on 2025 salary data. So there wasn't a negotiated settlement transfer from the contract for BMEA or A&P that would have reset that like many other departments. It just wasn't necessary based on the actual budget that, the actual spending. So the 9.11% increase is the change from 2 budgets ago, the FY25 number, and there are those employees that are moving to the step. So that is where the
So
increase would be.
it reflects 2 years of increases, not just the normal.
Correct. Yep.
Thanks.
John?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, just to make sure I'm comparing properly, was 2025 the 3-election year?
2025 would have been the end of the year I was elected, correct, Patrick?
Yeah, I think you're talking about the elections.
Yeah, so I'm just comparing the election line. It looks like that one was
Yeah.
90K and this one's 95K, so
Yeah.
that would sort of be the apples-to-apples comparison.
Yes, and I also went back to the last time we had a midterm and made sure the numbers seemed reasonable with the salaries of the workers.
Yep. It makes sense. Thank you.
Any questions? Anything else?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Wait, quick,
Chris?
before we do it. Do you want to just say when the 3 elections are going to be and the times for those while we have you?
Sure. So our first one, and we actually just got our mail-in ballots today. So this will be going out hopefully beginning of next week, is April 11th. We already have about 2,400 people that have requested vote by mail. And that'll be from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at the high school rubber gym. If you would like to vote early, we're doing March 30th through April 8th, town hall hours. So if Fridays, we'll be closing the polls at 1, and Wednesdays, we'll be in here till 7 and quickly leaving, so this lovely group can meet right after the polls close on Wednesdays. And don't want to misspeak, so I apologize. Let me look at a calendar. September is the first Tuesday, which is fun. It's going to be the, is it the 3rd?
Third.
September 3rd. That'll be at the high school again. There'll be early voting states set up for that as well. And then the next one is gonna be November 3rd in, why is my calendar wrong? I apologize.
Oh, you have 2024 dates in here.
Yeah, something.
Oh, this is not updated.
It's all right.
That's all right.
Yeah.
So let me correct that. So September 1st, the Tuesday after Labor Day is what the state had set. That will be at the high school, and then November 3rd at the high school as well.
September 8th, Tuesday after Labor Day.
Yeah, it's 2026 Labor
Oh,
Day,
sorry, I
September
skipped.
7th.
I apologize.
Yeah,
Sorry.
September 8th.
right,
Some-
right after Labor Day.
Sometime around there.
Apologize.
That's all right. The signs will tell us. We'll know around town. You'll be able to tell. If I had one more that came to mind. If the changes happen with elections, with ID to vote, I know, like on a small, I guess, no, maybe even when you go up to the table, you can put your ID in. I mean, do we have the equipment for that? If it,
So the poll pads do use your IDs to scan people in. That is not required. You are still welcome to come up and say, my name is Jennifer Priest and I live at this address,
sure.
to pull it up. If anything changes with the state with that or federally, they do have those capacities to scan. And that it should be a pretty flawless.
We just don't need more equipment if that.
No, the poll pads work pretty straightforward.
Beautiful.
The state's running the elections, not the Jets.
So far.
No.
Right.
We'll see about that.
That's the Constitution.
Well,
We can argue about that.
You still need the motion?
yes, we have a motion and a
Okay.
second to fund the town clerk budget at $573,353. All those, nope. Cheyenne?
Good try.
Yes.
Chris Campbell?
Yes.
Chris Delaney?
Yes.
John Eiler?
Yes.
Deb McCarthy?
Yes.
Frank Monaco?
Yes,
Steve Moran?
Yes.
Rob Newfeld?
Yes.
Paul Noonan?
Yes.
Ed Parsons?
Yes.
Rick Rosso?
Yes.
Roger Riggs?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 1300. Thank you.
Okay,
Oh, Board of Registrars.
back again.
You're back.
Board of Registrars budget.
So there was no increase this year for this one. The salaries for the board registrars are dictated by the state law, and the contracted services and materials and supplies have been meeting our needs at this point in time.
Subcommittee.
Town Hall 2 voted 2-0 in favor of this budget.
Thank you. Questions? Chris?
Just curious, the Board of Registrars is fully staffed with a position?
So it's myself and then the 3 registrars, yes.
Other questions?
Motion to approve?
Second?
Second.
So we have a motion and a second for the Board of Registrars budget at $17,150. Cheyenne?
Yes.
Chris Campbell?
Yes.
Chris Delaney?
Yes.
John Eiler?
Yes.
Deb McCarthy?
Yes.
Frank Monaco?
yes,
Steve Moran?
Yes.
Rob Newfeld?
Yes.
Paul Noonan?
Yes.
Ed Parsons?
Yes.
Rick Rosso?
Yes.
Roger Riggs?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 1300. Thank you.
Thank you.
Library. Budget 610. It's a big number. Welcome.
Don't get them too prepared. Michael Wick, Library Director. Quick overview of the library budget. So you'll see that the salaries accounted for the, among the largest of the increases. Those are contractual obligations, step increases, as well as within the overtime. There's an additional Sunday within that. For expenses, we have contracted services is the only item that's increasing. That's due to 2 lines. The first is the fee for our membership to the Merrimack Valley Library Consortium. So that is the consortia that we're a member of, that we get borrowing privileges from other libraries. The consortia provides us our software, the ILS, which is the Integrated Library System. software, so that's what we use to manage all of our patrons, all of our materials, holds, the library catalog, as well as other support services from them, such as email for our staff, internet connectivity. The other increase in contracted services is the public programming. You'll see that that had previously been zeroed out. That was something that we did have in the budget for several years and then reduced that in order to meet guidelines as we were going through, COVID era economic times. And so we're building that back. There's a couple of other items that are zeroed out in that list that you'll see, such as key fob software license, or RICO, which is our public printer, and our staff photocopiers, printers. Those are items that we're looking to build back, but in order to try and keep our budget down, we've zeroed those out. Those are going to be supported through state aid monies that the library receives annually. Materials and supplies and MELT, which is our, basically our professional development fund, are level funded. And the special accounts, books and periodicals are our circulating items it's referenced to later on. That increase is purely because we need to meet 12% of our budget is dedicated to expenditure of circulating items. That's in order to receive our state aid award, and that's a requirement. If we were to go under that, we'd be entering into waiver territory, and there's a finite amount of time that we're able to exist in a waiver before we become, no longer able to receive state aid monies. State aid monies, we receive about $65,000 a year right now, so it's good reason to pay into that, and that's what everybody comes to the library for, our circulating materials.
Subcommittee,
2-0 in favor.
questions? Yeah, Rick?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Quick question. On the write-up here where it talks about explanation of any line item increasing over 10%,
Mm-hmm.
it says that overtime salaries increased by 25.32 and contracted services increased by 20.48. However,
I hate to say that, I think that might be an old recap sheet
Okay.
prior to discussions with town administration. Nothing in the budget as it exists is over 10%.
okay, yeah, because I'm showing that those are considerably less.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I can talk about why it was looking like that before.
No, that's all right. I just
but-
didn't know if, I just want to make sure, try to
Yeah.
reconcile the difference there, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think we have a new cover sheet. It was delayed because there was some back and forth with town admin and the trustees, of which Rob Neufeld is one of our trustees, has to go through that process of approval. So they probably didn't get that into the book before it was forwarded to y'all.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
We didn't approve the budget 3 weeks ago.
Questions? Deb?
Yeah, I have two questions. One is on staffing. So, in the full-time positions, there's a children's librarian full-time and an assistant children's librarian.
Yes.
And then in the part-time, there's 2 assistant children's librarian, both working half-time, so effectively another full-time assistant children's librarian.
So it's different. I hate to say it, it's kind of like a, I don't know if you've ever seen The Office, assistant to the manager, assistant manager. It's designated that way. The one is an assistant children's librarian, the other is an assistant to the children's librarian. So yes, I'm sorry. I was going for a meme there when I was naming everything. No, really, it's the assistant to the children's librarian are union part-time positions. But those are pre-professional positions, and the assistant children's librarian is a professional level position. So that's the full-time.
Okay, that was my first question. And then my second question, and I asked this very respectfully, coming from a not government type entity. So, the vacation coverage and the Sunday coverage and things like that. It's it's a big amount of money.
Mhm.
And I'm just trying to understand, especially with all the staffing, like, is there a way, and maybe you do this, and maybe you just need to tell me that, like, is there a way to, in terms of like covering those hours, doing it in a way, like, where you stagger things so that we're able to like maybe minimize the overtime somehow? And again, asking very respectfully.
Yeah,
it's
no,
just-
that's fine. No, I mean, I get why you ask. So the vacation really isn't a large portion of it. It's $20,000.
Yep.
The remainder of it is Sunday and summer Saturday hours.
Yep.
And then there is a contractual obligation with what's called shift differential. So anyone who works after 5 gets extra $1.50 extra per hour.
Every
So-
day of the week?
Yeah. So that's contractual obligation, so, you know, something where my hands are tied with that. Shift differential, I've got it budgeted at about $6,800 within that. And then the summer Saturdays, you know, that's about $10,000. And then the Sundays is about $58,000. So that's where the larger amount comes from. And actually, I hate to say it, I think that this might be, the 58,000 number I have here is from an old printout. So I think that number might be a little bit lower, but it kind of gives an idea of where we're at. Because this was something, as I was working through the budget, I did make some changes to this and reduce the amount of staffing on Sundays. Because we're going to come out at a higher amount of staff, or I'm sorry, way above the preference to hit the, you know, the guidelines. So we did reduce that. Typically, previous years, we would have provided that through state aid funding, but we've been doing this for 2-3 years now, providing this additional staff member on Sundays so that we can expand programming. And we've been paying it through state aid monies, and I think we can do it in a different way. So, you know, I am looking at these and making reductions when it's appropriate. But, you know, in terms of staggering and not covering, we're already doing that a lot. It's not something that, it's not a tool that we're not using. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
John?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. 2 items. What did you say the state aid amount was?
I think it's about 65,000 this year that we're
65,000.
anticipating.
Okay. All right, and that goes directly into your budget as opposed
No.
to, or where does it go?
Goes directly to the trustees' budget, and we decide what to do with it.
So, yeah, so it's discretionary funds. And so we've been using these for projects, like we've had partitions replaced in the Fogelberg area. So that was, the partitions were last placed when the building was built in 1996. And so we got 30 years of use, which when the contractor came in, he was amazed that we got more than 20 years of use even. When he heard 30, his lid was flipped pretty much. The other thing that we've used it for recently is putting in an AV system in that Fogelberg area. So these are things that we would, other departments might typically come forward with capital requests for, but we're not coming forward with as many capital requests, or really any capital requests at the current moment, because we have the state aid monies that we're using.
Okay. Before Rob jumps in, I'm not advocating a change here. What I want to understand, this is different than what, like the state aid for education.
Mm-hmm.
Those dollars go into our general fund effectively?
Yes.
And they aren't going to school committee control? Okay, so it's just a different operation of how that's done. And I'll just ask that in this, I guess, for Patrick, just a general question. Are there other cases where state dollars flow directly to the department or board versus going to the town?
I can't think of any off the top of my head, no.
Okay, so this is unusual in that regard. then.
Well, it's,
Okay.
I think it's a stipulation of the state aid, that it's state aid to libraries. It's not state aid to towns. So I think that that's the differentiator. If we dug into it, there's probably some legal
It's
rationale
fine
to
that you're doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, the other thing, I just wanted to throw in a little plug that people should vote in the tiny art competition that
Yes.
we have in the entrance and exit display cases. Not that I know anyone that has one in there.
Which one's yours?
Can't say, but his wife is very good.
Okay, good.
Is there a rolling balance in that trustee's account? Like, how much is that?
We try to keep it about 100,000 because of emergencies, like we had it when COVID hit, and it was saved us with overtime. We paid a lot of overtime. We paid for a tent over back door so people can get books, and overtime so we could set up tables in the back, and the library was essentially open. People couldn't go in, but people could order books and they could use the library when they could. And we use it for things like we have the brand new AV system that didn't exist in 1993 when the building was built. And we do things like put in shades, the window shades. The shades were 35 years old.
Sure.
And when things like the town says that they can paint the library, but they can't paint it for 5 years, so we say, okay, let's go paint the library. So we pay for somebody to paint the library. It's just things that we need. If we need comfy chairs so people can sit in the library and read and be happy.
Sure.
Or watch the police station rebuilt if they feel like it. It's for those things. And if we need extra money for programs where there's a camera we need, or we have a nice electronic door lock so that we don't have to change the locks every time somebody leaves, which is a great thing that might get next week. It's for those kind of things.
Yeah.
And the parties that we have all the time.
I know you don't have parties. I'm struggling with the 5.7, with the increase over
That's
guideline.
not the amount. The amount is like,
That's still the amount in the,
Oh, 5.75?
Yeah.
Yes, that is the increase.
that's the amount.
Like I said, it's largely due to contractual obligations and steps in the salaries. When I received the budget and everything was level funded, we were at, and actually overtime hadn't been increased to match those contractual obligations and step increases. I think we were about 4.75%. So really there wasn't much that I had to do in order to get it to that 5.75. Doing the special accounts to match the 12% was the other thing that bumped it up in a major way. And then I have about $6,000 increase in expenses, and that's it.
and some things that we agreed to fund out of our money.
We agreed to what, Rob?
What?
I couldn't hear you.
So we agreed to fund some of his budget.
Right, so that still got, so it would have been more if you hadn't done that.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a large budget, and so that's a big number over guidelines, and you guys are one of those special groups where where you don't come before town administration. You don't have to go through the gauntlet of town administration, and
Yes, we do. We do it, we've gone through, we sat with him.
I mean, you have a board, but you're not outside the purview of the discussion purview. But
Yeah, but one thing that we have increased our programming, and there's programming's 5 days a week, and there's our adult programming has increased like 30-40%.
yeah, I don't think you're wasting it. I think the question is it level funding, and I think everybody in town would say we could do better if we had 5.75, that's all. I'm just being honest, I'm struggling with the
So
outside of guidelines on the $2 million budget.
If I can respond to that too,
Sure.
this isn't, this isn't level funded, but it is level service funded. Because,
Well, not if you're expanding. It's not level services if you're expanding daytime programs or expanding.
well, we're not.
What you just said.
I mean, we're
Misunderstood.
increasing that just through the efforts of our existing staff. We're not, if you're looking at $6,000 or $4,000 for, I think the only thing that you could point to and say that we are not necessarily level service funded, is the $4,000 for our programming. So that's right now what we wouldn't have had, outside of any other required increase that we are already existing in, being our contractual obligations for salaries, our fees for membership for the Merrimack Valley Library Consortia, and then the required 12%. So we're very, very close to not only, level service funding, or as close to level service funding as we could be.
Sure.
You also have to remember that we get large amounts of money from the Friends of the Public Library for programming. That's where most of the money comes from for programming.
Well, so you got to be careful, as you were pointing out, that some things are covered in the budget and some things come from the Friends of the Library and some things are funded by the trustees.
Right.
I think the number at the bottom page here says 575, and that's because of the things that are in the budget, whether it's programming or materials. You know, if you can certainly tout the programming that's supported by the Friends and the trustees, but try not to conflate them, because then it makes this number harder
Puts
to,
it above
harder to
5.75.
rationalize.
Yeah.
And if I can make one other point, several years ago, the thing that got their budget under the guideline, or closer to the guideline, was cutting weekend hours, right? We cut out, I don't know how many days in the summer got cut out, and so the services have been cut to hit the guideline in the past. If that's the way things have to get done, maybe that's another vehicle, but people really enjoy libraries on the weekend.
Yeah, I'm gonna be under the gun if we start cutting weekend hours.
And also, don't we have to have a certain amount of hours to get state aid?
Yes.
Yeah.
There are
Yes,
there are
yeah.
minimums.
I mean, that's a good point, because we operate at a higher level of hours. So the way that state aid is determined is through a series of numbers, but one of them is our operating hours. And our operating hours are at a tier that exists for a larger municipality, municipality in the number of 50,000 plus. And so that allows us then to drop the amount that we need to dedicate to circulating materials. If we were to drop to the number of hours that we're operating at currently, we would be at, I think, 13.2% would be required for these materials. So even if we're dropping in order to meet that, we're actually now having to increase another thing in order to still, meet those guidelines for state aid.
Diabolical formulas, huh?
It's, yeah. I
Well,
mean,
it is,
it's-
and at some point, it's spending a lot of money to get $60,000.
Well, it depends, because what you're looking at is you're looking at weekend hours. If you're looking at,
I'm gonna go to a library because it's not certified.
No, well, if it's not certified, then a lot of other things start to suffer over time.
there's a lot of things that suffer. We wouldn't be able to have membership in the library consortia. We'd be paying for that software then on our own and managing that software on our own. I gotta tell you, you'd probably have to hire another library director, because I can't manage that software directly. I don't know how to do that.
Sure.
So there's a whole host of things.
Right.
Yes, I understand that it
I'm not-
can be, no,
Yeah, I'm not picking on the
no,
library.
I get it.
appreciate the library. It's a $2 million budget, which is one of the largest ones we hear, and that's a big increase. And I'll say again, I've said this is my third time in our hearings. Sometimes Burlington's not willing to pay the taxes required to support
The
a
services we
Cadillac.
pay.
Right, we pay, Chevrolet taxes, and we expect Cadillacs in every department. And so it's not that you're doing anything wrong, but at some point, the entire community needs to be aware that they're not really paying for all of this. And so all of these things are great. I'm fully supportive.
I understand, yeah.
But, every time we hear about the increases, these are the things we have to think about.
I don't know what the right, I don't know what the right metric is. You haven't mentioned the attendance, the number of people who come through the library that we're supporting with this much money.
Yeah.
I don't know what the right metric is, whether it's, dollars per patron or something. I don't know whether that's level over time, whether, People really appreciate the library.
Great service.
Yeah.
Yes, a
So,
percentage,
yeah.
and it's probably, I don't know what the percentage of the community really appreciates it. It's a percentage, though. I totally agree. Understand. I'm not arguing the value of libraries.
It's a number.
Frank?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm trying to get you off the hook here.
No, I don't feel on the hook.
All right.
I feel on the hook when people yell at me about it.
Bottom line, this budget in every category is over guidelines, right? Okay, number one. Number two, the drivers are the salaries and the Merrimack Valley, 50,000.
I would say that actually the bigger drivers are the salaries and the special accounts.
Yeah, but the special accounts is only $250 million out of the 2 million.
Yeah, but going up by,
I know, but in terms of dollars, I want to go back to something. We have one A&P position and the rest are BMEA, is that true?
Not the rest, no. There are part-time staff who are not members of the BMEA.
So you said that the salary increase of 5.3% was contractual.
Mm-hmm.
So there's only one A&P position, am I right?
That's
And then
right.
the rest are, who are we negotiating with?
BMEA,
BMEA,
yes.
okay. And so, does that make sense, Patrick, that those two negotiated contracts would hit us at this much of an increase?
Yeah, I was looking at that throughout the meeting here. Both are full and part-time people. There are a lot of people not at top step, so. there
So
are
we just
people-
happen to hit the trifecta on
There
steps.
are people moving through the steps, almost, the majority are moving through the steps as well as, the general wage increase.
Yeah.
So,
All right, so the salary is 5.36. It sounds like we're within the guidelines of all the other BMEA negotiations. It's just that we hit more contractual increases.
Yeah, and I mean, this is a group that, in some of our other departments that brought us,
I was gonna say, do the people at home
Yeah,
need to hear
thank
what
you.
you're saying?
Thank you.
this is an interesting year, in how we were able to come into guidelines, from a total town budget. A lot of other departments had significant retirements that sort of brought some changes as far as the replacements, so.
That answers the question, John, about how we ever getting there when we see all these that don't fit.
So, yeah, I mean, that's a reflection that we've seen in other departments. There's also, there's some very long-standing employees in this department that receive benefits that newer employees in town do not receive as far as compensation, so that has an impact a little bit on us as well. So, as far as wages goes, there was not a lot of, the combination of steps, general wage increase, and those sort of legacy benefits are certainly more impactful in the library, I would say.
Okay, so that's the salary, and then to Deb's point on the special accounts, that went up quite a bit. And so where did that all come from globally?
Special accounts?
Yeah, why
That's-
so much?
That's the 12% that the state requires us to dedicate
see.
towards circulating materials.
Protect that, okay.
Yeah,
so because of those salary increases, then
Right.
they have a direct
Yes.
impact on that.
exactly,
special
Yeah.
accounts.
And
exactly.
we just discussed the salary, which is still, it came out of the same BMEA negotiations as every other department.
Mhm.
I guess we just hit more steps.
Yes, we absolutely did. I mean, we have long-term staff, and we do have staff who, when the contract was negotiated, they kind of shifted down in terms of steps, and so they had some additional steps beyond that.
But it shouldn't have been any different for your employees as it was for any other BMEA employee, right?
Not in terms of the overall COLA, like contractual obligations for that, but it definitely is different for the steps. Just because I have a lot of staff who are going through the steps. When I came in, we had a fair amount of staff, not through anything that I did. We had a lot of staff who'd been there long-term, and they retired shortly in my tenure. And so now we've brought on a lot of staff who are not at the top of their steps. So they're moving through steps as well as COLA increase.
All right, you know, this is sort of, it's a $2 million budget. It's not like, you know, it's the biggest budget in the world, right? But it's kind of the principle of this and trying to understand if we're ever going to stay within guidelines on a sustained basis, then something's eventually got to change here.
I think I can address that.
John?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Yeah, so on the Ways and Means site, there's a scorecard
Yeah,
that you may want to call up.
yeah,
The total, so the guideline was 4.25 that we're shooting for.
right.
The town overall operating comes in at 3.98. And if you look at that, you'll see that police and fire are under 2, DPW's at, like 4.1. So, and then there's a bunch of other ones. But the point is that it comes out at the 3.98. So, as hard as it is to believe we happen to be having the ones bigger than the guideline now.
Yeah.
Assuming the spreadsheet's correct, which I'm sure it is, it averages out, so.
Okay.
Any other questions, comments?
My only comment is that might not happen every year.
Right.
What's that?
That,
Yeah.
that might not happen every year.
Yeah.
That's right,
It
but,
seems too good to be true.
so far, every year there's been a guideline set, and so far, it's always been met on average through all the town departments, so.
But
yeah,
it also comes at an opportunity cost to the town as well, right? Because some of those budgets may need to bump up in a particular year. So if this trend continues, it could be a problem.
I mean, we absolutely should, question anything that's above the guideline, but, the nature of averages, is, of course, half of them are gonna be above average, but.
It was sort of the wave of retirements. I don't know where we are in the middle of that wave. Several years in, the retirements help departments drop their budgets down without difference in FTEs. I think that's going to continue because I don't know exactly what the profile is. You can't really say or know exactly how that's going to work out. It seems serendipitous this year. It turned out it was last year. There was the same thing. There were a bunch of retirements that helped sort of reset some of the budgets.
Yep.
They're going to grow back for sure. Move to approve, unless I'm being premature.
Second.
We beat that horse to death. So we got a motion and a second to approve the library budget at $2,095,212. Cheyenne?
Yes.
Chris Campbell?
Yes.
Chris Delaney?
Yes.
John Eiler?
Yes.
Deb McCarthy?
Yes.
Frank Monaco?
Yes.
Steve Moran?
Yes.
Rob Newfeld?
Yes.
Paul Noonan?
Yes.
Ed Parsons?
Yes.
Rick Rasso?
Yes.
Roger Riggs?
Yes,
Chair votes yes, 1300. Thank you.
Thanks. I think I stick around for facilities, right?
I was going to say one more.
Town facilities,
Yes.
budget 192.
We don't really mean to, just to beat up on you. I think
Oh,
we're
no.
wrapping our heads around this.
No, I-
Just a little bit.
Yeah, no,
I didn't mean to do that.
I totally get the rationale behind the conversation.
We beat them up at trustees meetings too.
Great.
I'm used to the stick. I don't get the carrot often, so.
We just like to understand, the same depth that you do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
All right,
That's
town
Do it
facilities.
every day. So, town facilities, this is actually something that I was talking about at Ways and Means Subcommittee. This is something that was broken out of our budget and makes sense now, having talked about our 12%, requirement. This was removed from the library budget because it was driving our 12% higher and higher, as utilities whipsawed. So it's been removed from our budget. I really don't, I'll admit, you can ask me questions about this, but I really don't have a whole lot of insight into it because I don't manage the contracts. I really don't negotiate any of that. The increase is, I reach out to the DPW and say, what should I raise it by? And they provide me with a number or a guideline. So this is,
For people listening, this is for?
I'm sorry, this is for the facilities, utilities.
Yes, mostly
Utilities at the library.
For the
Right.
library.
Yes.
And so
Yeah.
it,
It was taken out of the budget in,
Yeah.
like 2012.
right,
Yeah, prior to me coming. This is something that,
Saves us money every year.
yeah.
yeah, I mean, this is something that it might make sense to no longer have as a part of the library budget, but have it as a part of the DPW budget. Because unfortunately, I always feel very ignorant when I'm sitting in front of you all and you're asking me questions, and I'm a monkey at a typewriter at this moment.
But you appreciate it, because it keeps the lights on and
It
keeps
does.
the place warm.
Very much so.
He was adamant that we did that this year, too.
Subcommittee.
We voted 2-0 in favor to keep the lights on. And to keep it warm or cool,
And the
depending on the
telephone's
time of year.
It's cool there.
Questions?
Move to approve?
Can't read in the dark.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Can't read in the dark. He said,
Oh.
he said can't read in the dark.
So we have a motion, do we have a second?
Second.
They do have Braille print, by the way, so if you did want to read in the dark, you could.
Or something you
right.
can listen to, maybe.
Second, yes, I'll
Getting a
second.
little carried away. We have a motion and a second for $102,440. Cheyenne,
Yes.
Chris Campbell,
Yes.
Chris Delaney,
Yes.
John Eiler,
Yes.
Deb McCarthy, Frank Monaco,
Yes.
Steve Moran,
Yes.
Rob Newfeld,
Yes.
Paul Noonan.
Yes.
Ed Parsons.
Yes.
Rick Rosso.
Yes.
Roger Riggs.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 13-0-0.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Still like the library.
Thank you, Mike.
Oh, no,
Not opposed to the library.
everybody likes the library, right? I heard you all
All right.
voting in favor, so thank you.
Thanks, Mike.
Mike Hardy's not here. There is no more police station committee. I'll take that off the agenda. I'm sure JD or Patrick will let us know if there's something financial that we need to know. High school, no change, nothing new. They meet again next Thursday. Fox Hill,
Nothing new.
athletic fields, Chris Delaney. I
Yep.
know Chris sent out some info.
Yeah, I did. I sent it out. Bids went out this week. Looks like they were under budget, but it's an estimate.
What did the bids go out for?
I just had it. Hold on. Yes, I sent the cost estimate via email. So it looks like the project budget was 4.7 million. Estimate came in at 4.1. The delta is, so it's 614,000. So the bids were out, like I said, this week.
So we'll
And
know.
work should begin once a bid is accepted. We'll be ready to go.
Just for the record, just to make sure, this is for the Marshall Simons Fields?
I'm sorry, yes,
Yes.
Marshall Simons
Yeah,
Athletic Field, Lower Brush, I think they're
Okay.
calling it right now.
So-
Yeah,
Question, the line that says project budget, is that the same amount that was authorized, total amount not to exceed number authorized by town meeting? Or is that some other number?
That's the 477.
That's the 477.
477, that's kind of an odd number for town meeting to, never mind.
We amended it down.
Whatever
We
they
amended it down.
authorized
We made it
is
ourselves,
fine.
yeah.
okay. And minutes for, oh, I'm sorry, electronic voting?
We're having our first presentation on October 7th.
All right,
Is that right?
excellent.
Sorry,
The first presentation from one of the vendors.
From a vendor.
October? No.
April.
I was going to say.
That makes more sense.
That'll be better.
And we're trying to delay the presentation to town meeting. Because
You don't have anything yet?
we don't have anything.
All right. Minutes from March 11th, I sent them around. I got 2 thumbs up saying no changes. pretty proud of that.
Yeah.
I won't say, but it was Ed
Is that real
Parsons, John
intelligence or
Eiler, both
artificial
said it.
intelligence?
No, those are real. AI has not been my friend. Oh, and again, I forgot to record the meeting. Shoot. Anyway. So, do we have a motion?
Do you want to introduce the,
I did.
oh, okay.
So
Oh,
moved,
shite up late, my
Before you
apologies.
got here.
Yes.
Do we have a motion?
so moved,
So,
Second.
Cheyenne,
Yes.
Chris Campbell,
Yes.
Chris Delaney,
Yes.
John Eiler,
Yes.
Deb McCarthy,
Yes.
Frank Monaco,
Yes.
Steve Moran,
yes.
Rob Newfeld,
Yes.
Paul Noonan,
Yes.
Ed Parsons,
Yes.
Rick Rosso,
Yes.
Roger Riggs.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, 13-0-0.
So, whoa, just one, I want to say something about, to be short. May I?
Please.
Town Hall One today met with Ed, David Tate, and I, and we looked, one of the things we looked quite a bit at was the warrant articles in capital. And so, there's a list in there that's plugged in that's pretty comprehensive. I'm just hoping that we at least get the votes of capital budget for the articles that we're gonna be voting on for the debt schedule for this coming May.
We're going to try. They are starting to meet, but they didn't get the warrant articles. And so they're meeting, and I've invited them to attend our meeting when we go through and told them we'd really appreciate their input.
So
And
there's
we'll try
enough-
to, these things come in now, it all starts bunching up again.
Right, so debt service 27, 28, 29, we need to start paying real close attention to that. And obviously, a huge driver of it is new capital projects. And,
Yeah.
that's gonna be the issue.
Yeah.
Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Sure.
All in favor?